Welcome to the Farmers Weekly News Review. I'm Caroline Stocks. The Welsh Assembly is pressing ahead with plans to cull badgers, despite opposition from the public. About half of respondents to a consultation on the cull are against killing badgers, even though a third of them don't actually live in Wales. Of the Welsh responses, 88% of people said they back killing badgers as a way to eradicate TB. The proposals are now in front of Welsh politicians ahead of a debate and Assembly vote on the issue next month. Farmers will be the nation's heroes in the coming decades as the search for sustainable food intensifies. Junior DEFRA Minister Jim Fitzpatrick says farmers will get more recognition as they feed growing populations and help tackle climate change. His comments come as DEFRA urged farmers to respond to the government's consultation on the future of farming. The 9-point document sets out what the government thinks farming will look like by 2030. TV personality Jeremy Clarkson has been venting his anger this week on the amount of red tape farmers face. The Top Gear star has discovered he faces a raft of rules after buying himself a farm in Oxfordshire. His comments have amused farmers on the FWI forums, as Isabel Davies explains.
Jeremy Clarkson is far more at home in a car than a tractor, but he'd get a warm welcome in many farm kitchens at the moment. He penned a column in last week's Sunday Times where he shared his disgust at some of the bureaucracy facing farmers. One of his gripes is that the forms farmers have to fill in are longer and more complicated than the instruction manual for a nuclear power station. The column's been circulated around the farming community and is generating plenty of reaction. On the forums, Welsh and Willing says, "The man can be such a prat at times, but in this case he can do us a lot of good. The public will take more notice of him than 100 farmer protests." Ed the Digger adds, "Hopefully the general public will actually realise that we aren't just whinging when we say we are tied up in red tape. Maybe people will take notice of it." Whether people do take notice remains to be seen, but farmers certainly appreciate the fact that someone so high profile has spoken out. You can join the discussion at fwi.co.uk/Clarkson.
And finally, a children's book which looks at a boy's life in the countryside is set to make it to the stage. Tim Ralph reports.
Michael Moore Poirgo is a name familiar to many. To some, he's the ex-children's laureate. To others, he's best known as the founder of the fantastic charity Farms for City Children, which has taken 50,000 urban kids out to spend a week living and working on a farm. He's also known as a writer of children's fiction. His book, The Warhorse, for example, was very popular. More recently, he's published a book called Farm Boy, and this has just been adapted for the stage. It centres around the relationship between a grandfather and his grandson and is an evocative account of the changing face of the English countryside. It's just started a national tour, so if you'd like to find out more about it, go to my blog, fwi.co.uk/field day.
That's it from me this week. For all the latest news and views, go to fwi.co.uk.